A very good afternoon, one and all gathered here through online platform. It's my pleasant duty to bid you all a genial welcome for the national webinar on Protect Your Intellectual Property with the Patent, hosted by Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Center for Intellectual Property Rights, Chennai. World Intellectual Property Day is observed on April 26 every year. This is the day we begin to learn to look through the eyes of others to find out and experience what the world is like for them, and also to raise awareness of how patent, copyright, trademarks, and designs impact on our daily life. This day is observed to celebrate the intellectual creativity and the contribution made by the creators and inventors. Much is yet to be discovered and invented, so dig ideas with uniqueness. A friendly welcome is an outstretched hand. May I now invite respected Dr. P.C. Nagasubramani Sir, Associate Professor and Director, Center for Intellectual Property Rights, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, for welcoming you all. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Intellectual property is a key aspect for economic development. A very good afternoon and warm welcome to you, everyone. I deem it a great pleasure to welcome you all for this national webinar on Protect Your Intellectual Property with Patent, organized by Center for Intellectual Property Rights, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University. Today is auspicious day to have this webinar. Every April 26, we celebrate World Intellectual Property Day to learn about the role that intellectual property rights play in encouraging innovation and creativity. I wish you all to have a great Intellectual Property Day. Respect for inventors is the key for success of a patent system. These words opt for a great man who is inspiring people, motivating people. Yes, we all need someone to inspire, motivate, and uplift while transforming our visions to reality. On this occasion, I would like to welcome our forefront leader, motivator, Dr. N. Panjanadam, Vice Chancellor, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University. Welcome you, sir. Coming together is a beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. I welcome Dr. V. Balakrishna, Registrar, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, who is going to deliver special address. He is encourager and a strong believer of the progression. Welcome you, sir. There is no wealth like knowledge and no poverty like ignorance. I am happy to welcome Dr. M. Govindan, Dean of Faculty, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, for the tireless encouragement in making this program possible. Welcome you, sir. Freedom and property rights are inseparable. I am delighted to have our resource persons with us today who accepted to enlighten us on Protect Your Intellectual Property with Patent. I extend my warm welcome to Mr. A. Raja, Assistant Controller of Patent and Designs, Indian Patent Office, Chennai. Welcome you, sir. I have immensible pleasure to welcome Dr. V. Sharmila, Deputy Director, Center for Intellectual Property Rights, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, who is going to introduce the guest. Welcome you, ma'am. Intellectual property rights are reversed for the most subdued parts of our brains. I extend my warm welcome to Dr. M. Suresh Kumar, Head, Department of Psychology, the American College, and Madurai Regional Coordinator, Center for Intellectual Property Rights, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, who is going to introduce the theme of the webinar. He also provides technical support today through Yellow Pond Counseling Center. Welcome you, sir. I welcome Dr. J. Jansi Priya, Assistant Professor, Western College of Education, Chennai, and Chennai Regional Coordinator, Center for Intellectual Property Rights, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, who is going to deliver vote of thanks. Welcome you, ma'am. I welcome all the participants who is participating in the webinar actively. And also I welcome all the members of Center for Intellectual Property Rights to this webinar. Welcome you all. Knowledge is very vital in life's transformation and transition. Once again, I welcome you all and wish you all have intellectual property with patent right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Successful is one whose imitators are successful. I feel immense pleasure to welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Extreme Professor N. Panjanadam Sir, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, for Presidential Address. Welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon to all. Professor Balakrishnan, respected Registrar of the University, Professor Govindan, respected Controller of Examinations, Dean of the Faculty, and our guest today, Mr. Raja, Assistant Controller of Patents. Similarly, Dr. Suresh Kumar, a good friend, handsome man, young youth, energetic, at the same time, very intellectual personality. Dr. Suresh Kumar, HOD, Psychology Department, American College, and other persons of organizing team. Professor Nagasubramani, the Director of Center for IPR, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, and Madam Sharmila, Deputy Director of the Center, Madam Jhansi Priya, and other members of organizing team, respected participants, staff, colleagues, students, scholars, ladies and gentlemen. I will not take much of your time because I am also eagerly waiting to listen to both Dr. Suresh Kumar and Dr. Mr. Raja. We both, Mr. Raja and I, were participating in a program in Coimbatore this morning. To internet morning, we met in Coimbatore. Today, now we are meeting in this program. All things are possible, maybe due to dynamic personality like Professor Nagasubramani, the director of center, and his team. Apart from that, this technology, thanks to technology. So I take this opportunity not only to convey my affection, respect, address every one of you on behalf of His Excellency, Governor of Tamil Nadu, who conducted a meeting for all Honorable Vice Chancellors 2 days ago on 20th. In every online meeting, in every online class, he wanted all of us to spend at least 1 or 2 minutes to talk about Corona. Then even in the name of reinforcement, even the known things, the 6, 7 things what you have to do, like wearing mask, keeping distance. Number 3, hand wash frequently, sanitize the place, hand, everything sanitize frequently. Then vaccination. Then 6th one is following the rules and regulations of Government of Tamil Nadu and Government of India. Then more importantly, his advice to all of us is to make or create awareness to everybody in and around us. So these 7 things, Honorable Chancellor, he wanted all of us, because he strongly believes that thousands of teachers in our country and lakhs of students can take this message to the society very easily, so that the damage due to pandemic can very well be reduced. So on behalf of our Honorable His Excellency Governor of Tamil Nadu, I request all of you to propagate this COVID awareness things. And I'm happy and thankful to all the teachers and non-teaching friends of our university. They have prepared a lot of videos, posters, banners, booklets, everything, and they send it through Facebook, LinkedIn, WhatsApp. They create a lot of awareness in online classes also they do. I appreciate them, because we are all in a very dangerous situation due to pandemic. So what is best possible by all of us as stakeholders of the society, we have to do it. So with the folded hand, I request all of you to create more awareness in the society, so that we make zero damage. So happy World Intellectual Day today. I especially appreciate the Director, Center for IPR, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Professor Nagasubramanian, Professor Suresh Kumar, and Mr. Raja, for spending their valuable time in giving messages. Apart from that, I always remain thankful to our registrar, always encouraging gentleman, and any academic activity, he will never say no to that. If possible, he also joins and spends his time. Similarly, Professor Govindan, 24/7, Anytime you go to university 24/7, you can see as a controller conducting examinations for more than 70,000 students. The dedicated team all the time with such a personality and asset in the university and other officers, teachers, not teaching college, they have been doing the best to all the 700 colleges located in Tamil Nadu in the name of colleges of education. Thanks to Honorable Government of India and honorable state governments that through national education policy, the National Research Foundation, they are going to introduce where one of the concentrations is, this IPR, patent, paper publications. India, even morning I was sharing this information, India shares 17% of population of the world. Unfortunately, our research paper contribution is less than 3%. We represent 17% of the world, but our contribution towards research, the next step is patent, towards research is only 1/7. Then if you go to patent, it is less than 1%. I'm not sure exactly the percent, but it is less than 1%, 0.03, something like that. China is far than us. US is ranked number 1, number 2, number 3. So we have human resources. So we should convert. I appreciate Dr. Narasubramanian. I appreciate Mr. Raja. I appreciate Dr. Suresh. I appreciate all others who are directly or indirectly contributing to this program. Through this program, we try to see that we convert our human beings into human resources, because a lot of new ideas we have, lot of creative thinking we have, lot of inventions we can do. Unfortunately, we don't do it scientifically. Even if we do it, we don't go to the extent of patenting it. So ultimately, our inventions, they are not recorded. They are not useful to the society. Sometimes we are not making it commercial. Last year, I went to Cambridge, thanks to Honorable Government of India, which deputed me and other many IIT process and the process of universities. And we were students there. The way they are introducing, if they ask, sir, tell something about Cambridge University, they say single word. Sir, this university has produced 108 Nobel laureates. Thank you, bye. This is the introduction about the university. If we ask individually, sir, you tell something about you, my name is bye. That's all, bye. This is the introduction. I have 2 patents. So this patent has got its impact more. I hope that particularly Mr. Raja will be speaking more. So all our young people, all our researchers should bring out their creativity, convert them as inventions, innovations, ultimately inventions as products and services. Go for patenting. Somehow patent means we have got some type of an allergy. It is only meant for science or engineering, something like that. It is not so. For everything you can make a patent. For everything you can make patent if it is as per the rules and the regulations of patent office. Of course, Mr. Raja will be throwing more light on that. So my request to the young generation, please think about not only quality research papers, go beyond that. Use your creativity. All people born in the world, God has created all of us as creative people. And we convert our creativity into innovations and inventions that should be recorded in the name of patent. So that will add value to our country. That will add, it will generate income to the country. It will generate income to the individual. So much he will be speaking on that. But I am only requesting all young people, teachers who will take this message to hundreds and thousands of people in our country to see that the whole 1.38 billion of this country should be converted into human resources. How we can call ourselves human resources? We all must be well educated. Is it enough? No. Your creativity should come out. Is it enough? No. It should be converted as innovations. Is it enough? No. It should be made as inventions. Is it enough? No. For our inventions, we must get patent, and ultimately, we must be proud of it. We can make money also out of it, income generation. Then we make our country, motherland, very proud of us. So such contribution should be done by all of us, for which this program will be highly useful. Very much, it will be motivating to all of us. I once again congratulate Dr. Nagasubramani and his team for spending their valuable time in organizing on an important day, World Intellectual Property Day. They have been organizing. I congratulate them. Similarly, I appreciate and congratulate all respected participants. There be teachers, students, scholars. You can only. I am only talking person. You are all doing people. Only you can contribute a lot. And I request all of you to contribute. See that India is second to none. India is second to none. Indians are second to none. That is the situation we should bring through our creativity, innovations, and inventions. God bless all. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to me. Best wishes.
Thank you, sir. We assure, sir, we will be continuously prompt awareness for this pandemic situation. As you said, patent is an exclusive right guaranteed for an invention. It's my privilege to welcome our respected Professor M. Govindan, sir, Dean of Faculty, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University for felicitation. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon, Councillor, Professor Panjanathan, sir, our respected registrar, sir, the chief guest of this today's Mr. A, team of the CPAR. Good afternoon all once again. First of all, on behalf of the Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, I congratulate the team of Center for Intellectual Property Rights of Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Director Dr. P. C. Nagasubramani, the Deputy Director Dr. V. Sharmila, CPIR Regional Coordinator, Chennai Regional Coordinator, and all participants for their effort to organize this webinar during the pandemic. Our B.Ed curriculum on semester pattern with space criticism. I request Mr. Dr. Nagasubramani to incorporate at least one unit of intellectual property right in the B.Ed curriculum and also in the M.Ed curriculum. Because regarding to intellectual property right, our children's or students maybe in the secondary or higher secondary level or university level, they are having one
Sir Govindan, sir.
Sir Govindan, sir. Sir.
Phone லெவனா இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணிடுங்க.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I think he's speaking. He's speaking now.
Sir, audio இல்ல sir. Govindan, sir.
Sir, not audible, sir.
Sir, we are not able to hear you, sir.
Over phone, you can inform. In the meantime, I congratulate on behalf of all of us. I congratulate Dr. Nagasubramanian and his team, who has bagged an award from the Government of India, from Mahatma Gandhi National Council for Rural Education, Green Championship Award to Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University. Congratulations to Dr. Nagasubramanian and his team. I hope that all of us will appreciate him and his team. And also, you all will take efforts to get such awards. We all wish that all participants should get awards. Your institution should get award. So, congratulations to Dr. Nagasubramanian and his team.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
So they are changing their system of education regarding to creating some awareness regarding to intellectual property right. But also there is one saying, right? Necessity is the mother of all inventions. Even intellectual property right itself from create activities that seek to find solutions and countries, they are developing their own model for creating awareness among the children, students, and also the adults in the higher education stage for strengthening the or creating awareness regarding the intellectual property right. So I once again request all our faculty members, including Dr. Nagasubramanian and the team, to prepare a syllabus, at least a unit of we called it paper for the B.Ed curriculum next year onwards. We are going towards. I once again congratulate the entire team, especially Dr. Nagasubramanian, Professor Dr. Suresh Kumar, Dr. Sharmila, Jansi Priya, for organizing this period. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will follow your valuable suggestion for development of society through teacher education curriculum. Thank you, sir. Intellectual property encourage individuals to innovate and create. Now may I call upon Dr. M. Suresh Kumar, Head Department of Psychology, the American College of Madurai, and Madurai Regional Coordinator, Center for Intellectual Property Right, Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Chennai, to introduce the theme of the webinar. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. The great honor and privilege being with renowned persons from the Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Panjanathan sir, and the student well-wisher and faculty's role model, Dr. Govindan sir, and our registrar, Dr. V. Balakrishnan sir, and my core team member and director of Center for Intellectual Property Rights, Dr. P.C. Nagasubramanian sir, and Deputy Director Sharmila ma'am, and today's speaker Dr. Raja sir, and all the participants, the principals and faculty. Very good afternoon for today's session. I'm really happy to share the theme of today's webinar session. As you all know that there is a concept called intellectual property rights. I can say that for me, even after PhD, before PhD, I'm not aware about the word itself. Even if it is there, I'm not aware about what exactly it is the meaning. So that is the reality, sad reality. We have to accept that. And in the presidency letters by Dr. Honorable Vice Chancellor informed us, there are many countries, they have more and more patent and rights for their inventions and creativity. Why we are not having? When we ask this question, why we are not having? The simple answer is this: because we are not having the awareness. The only thing we can say that if we know that how to lead, how to move on that, and we will be leading in that chart. That assurance, I can say that. And it is an initiative by the Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University and Center for intellectual property right, we assure you that in coming days, we assure you that there are more and more patent and copyrights and other registration will be done through these centers, and we will create more and more awareness to the needy people. And we assure you, when compared to other states, even in the southern states, more registration will be done in this through these centers. Sir. That with that note, I'm going to introduce the theme of the session. And we all know that there is an organization called World Intellectual Property Organization, which is there in Switzerland. They are the one, they announced that today is on World Intellectual Property Rights Day. To observe this day, every year they introduce a theme. Every year they will introduce a theme. And that theme, and throughout the year, all the members, all the professionals, they will work on that, how we can disseminate the theme to the stakeholders. And today's theme is about very, very innovative one. And I can say that how we can make that taking our ideas, your ideas into the market. I can say that I'm having the idea, but I don't know how to make that idea into the field. And this is the thing we can ask any persons, even the layman in a street, we can find out I'm having the idea, I don't know how to make it. I'll give one example. As we all know that in India, the crores in India, you can say that Ambani and Adani. No, there are other two persons, they are very youngsters, and because of this intellectual property right, they know that how to take their ideas into the market. One person I can say that OYO. OYO is an application that will give you direction to where you can find the rooms and what is the cost of the room. Do you know the cost of that person and the property of that particular person? He knows how to take his ideas into the market. That is why he is now one of the upcoming millionaire in India. And he was labeled by most of the countries, even in the World Trade Organization, they listed out, and how many youngsters in India, they are coming up. As we all know that, if there is any organization, even if you take Microsoft, Apple, or any company, it is from San Francisco, America. But now they are saying that there are two places in India which is very popular. One is Bangalore, and almost all other parts of India, they are coming forward and they are making to sell, they're making to know the idea that how they can sell the ideas into the market. And this year's theme is that component only. Even I can ask you, even there are here more than 200 participants are here. If I ask you, do you have any idea? Definitely they may have the idea. But when we ask them, do you know how to sell that? That's it. They will say that there are many components. We'll say one is about we don't know how to approach. Second one is the financial crisis. The financial thing they need to address. And if we fulfill these two components, I can assure you that, as Sir said, we are going to have more and more copyrighted components. I can say that we are not far behind to any other developed countries. We are equal to that. We are having more creativity and more innovations. And this year's intellectual property rights, they are observing on the team, taking our ideas, your ideas into the market. Okay. So, as I said, the organization is mainly intended for what they are doing. These organizations, like in today's session, after my introducing the theme, a resource person is going to talk about a lot about it, how we can take these things. What they will do, one is they will help the persons those are having that ideas and creativity. And small level, a small scale. We can give one example. In Chennai, their IIT Madras, they are having the incubation centers. And they will collect on the students, the ideas from that, all the students, and they will find out that they make a brainstorming on which idea can be sellable. And they will make it a small scale. And if it is unsuccessful, they will make it to the all over India. The same thing we can adapt for our teacher education institution also. For example, I still remember, sir, for research tools, most of the time we are looking for the tools from the Western countries, the developed countries, the PSN and multinational corporate companies only. But when it comes to that, I can say that we are having more than 700 plus teacher education institutions. I can assure you that at least one person in that institution, they may develop a study material, or they may develop an instrument for measuring the particular variable we are looking for in the research component. And if we ask that whether those components were registered and patented, I can say that many of them, they have not done that. And the reason for not doing that, they were not aware about it. And we are going to make the person to understand that how you can get a copyright, how you can make a patent for the creating an original work for the work. There are many people, they may thought that they may copy and they may change something that it can be used. No, that won't come under here. It is purely original that can sustain for a long time. And I would like to quote some of the things here. Plagiarism is a concept we know that when we are doing the research. Even if we copy the 2 lines from the other persons, you may think that you can submit and then you can get the degree. Even after 30 years, I don't want to name the person, even after 30 years, the person caught and he was depromoted from one of the leading institutions. And we have to aware, the reason is the person may not aware about it. And the only thing, the main objectives of the Center for Intellectual Property Rights, create an awareness and make original contribution to the field and get a copyright and patent for the original work done by the persons, especially in teacher education. And much important to that education component. There are lots and lots of innovations other than education component. And the more inputs will be given by the following resource person. And now I think there are, we can identify that the person who has contributed a lot. For example, when you say that who is having more patent, in the world in general, we may know that Edison having more than 2,000 patents in his name. Likewise, when we take it to that, how he got a patent, and look at that, there is a small change that the Tesla and his component. Already the person already done, he made on something useful to the other members, and he get a patent, and that create that thing we need to create an awareness. And these center we are planned to make an such an awareness activities through virtual and face-to-face component also. And the theme of especially for Center for Intellectual Property Right of Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, we are observing that Intellectual Property Day as protect your ideas, intellectual property with patent. Don't think that someone they will not copy it. You make it. It is the work of yours. That's the main priority, main theme of the observance of World Intellectual Property Right Day. And I would like to quote 4 important objectives of our Center for Intellectual Property Right. With that, I can conclude my introducing the theme here. The first one is there are many teacher education institutions are there in India, in Tamil Nadu especially. There are many teacher educators, there are researchers, the teachers and students. And they are having the creativity, they are having the innovation. And we have to help them how to get that patent and rights for the copyrights for the creative and original work of these people and these institutions. That's the first important objectives of this center. And second one is to create awareness through virtual and face-to-face and different modalities to all the stakeholders. As I mentioned, the teacher education institutions, teacher educators, teachers, students, researchers, and all the members. And third important thing is, as we all know that there is a state level nodal agency and a national level nodal agency to be there. And before going to that, there is a preliminary check has to be done. As we all know that what we can say that there are some of the organizations in a district level, they will scrutinize, okay, they will say that, okay, your content is competent enough to go for copyright and patent. And that kind of facility will be done by Tamil Nadu, the Center for Intellectual Property Right of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education. They will provide a certificate and they will enter the details of the person who registered, and that registration will be done in Center for Intellectual Property Right of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. It is a new initiative we are going to make. That is another important objective. And finally, the important thing is to bridge the gap between ideas and implementations. There are lots and lots of ideas are there. But when it comes to that implementation, we don't know how to start, where to begin, and how to end. And there's a difficulty, how to overcome the difficulties that need to be addressed. And that can be done through that, inviting the people who struggled and they got a patent. And their case studies and autobiography will help the person to make more and more copyrights for in the field of teacher education, especially for the education in primary level, higher education level. So these are our main objectives of CIPR. With that note, I express my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Pandyanathan sir, the dynamic person, and the Registrar of Tamil Nadu Region, P. Balakrishnan sir, and the Dean, Dr. Govindan sir, he is the Controller of Examination, the Director, Mrs. Nagasubramaniam sir, and Deputy Director, Dr. Sarmila ma'am, all the professors and the head of the departments of Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University, and my co-coordinator and the resource person, all the teacher educators and the staff members. I record my sincere thanks to you all for And also I'm seeking your support for the initiative. And as we will have more and more